Hey everyone out there on YouTube, /2x here, shooting a video with the official Elite release now. As you can see, we no longer have our Gamma versions, we have version 1. A couple people have asked how to remove this. I still have yet to figure it out myself. If somebody hits upon a way of doing it, let me know. The watermark's nice for seeing what version number it is, but in all honesty, I'm a fan of just see what time the game came out, what time your current last patch was. So it doesn't really matter. Upon the update from Gamma to the current version, I went ahead and checked. I haven't really seen anything major. I know they've had some stability type changes. So most of my Gamma videos still apply. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot through some of those too. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take a quick look here. I'm going to go to the outfitting. Just because with the Gamma we did have some minor changes, I want to go ahead and cover some of those pretty quickly. So here we are. Let's go ahead and take a look first at some of these different hard points. Number one, I'll go ahead and cover this. The numbers over here have a significant impact on what type of weaponry you're looking at. A level 2 weapon is always stronger and larger than a level 1 of the same value. So what does that mean to us? The way the weapons work, A all the way down through the lowest I've ever seen is G. So your base levels here. A is the strongest, G being the lowest. I have heard of people seeing other weapon types that are the lower volume. Me personally, I haven't. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Let's find that one that's currently equipped. Here we are. So this actually gives us some of the hard information. So we're looking at class 2 right here. So it's already one step up. The classes, unlike the letters, this uses a number system. The higher the number, the bigger it is. Think of the rating here as the tuning. So this is tuned to level F. It can be tuned all the way to level A. The class would just indicate what the size is. Mass, that's straightforward. It's how much it weighs. That affects my ability to do jumps. The more you're carrying for mass, the harder it is to jump further distances. It is possible to load yourself so far down with equipment that you're not able to make significant jumps. Skipping down just a little bit, we go to our power draw. Power draw is how much it's going to pull whenever it's deployed. And then you also have your retracted values. These go up a little bit for retracted value, but you'll see the deployed value goes up a little bit higher. As you can see, it changes over here on the right. You can see the different values as I look at things that are either heavier or lower draw. But the next thing we want to touch on is gimbaled, the weapon mode. This current one is gimbaled. It has a slight ability to aim in and help me catch those targets. You look at any of my other videos, you see I do a lot of bounty hunting just because I believe it's the most fun to be had in the game. May not be the high profits ratio, but man, it's a lot of fun to shoot at things. So this definitely helps with that. This does thermic type damage, so it does that laser thermal type damage. It's not exactly a high-end amount of damage, but it's okay. I really did wish that they went with a numerical system for this. I've heard rumor that some people have said that maybe they'll do that in the future. Right now we're stuck with the little dots. So right now it does 3 dots of damage. The problem is some of these other items do 2 or 4. That's a very straightforward, hey, this is more or less damage. Other times you get something that's the same. So let's see, let's find a good one here. Alright, so we have 4 dots of damage right there versus... Actually, no, here's a better one. So here's 3 dots of damage right there for this laser versus 3 dots of damage for that laser. Theoretically, it's better, but outside of it being marked as better, I can't see the difference. It's still the same number of dots. So a numerical value, in my opinion, would be a nice improvement on that, but we're stuck with what we got right now. This brings me to another point. Gimbaled weapons, the ones with that slight aim, always do a little bit less damage than your fixed weapons. Most of the time it looks like this though, where yes, there's a damage reduction, but you can't really see it. Now the thing you can see You see your armor penetration, that gives you a value. It's, again, not a numerical value. It gives you that alphabetical value. But then rate of fire, now we're back to numerical values. So damage per second, again, same thing. You can't really tell a difference. And thermal load, yes, there's a difference, but you can't really tell what it is. But theoretically, the fixed weapons, the ones that are only pointing exactly straight ahead, do a little more damage. But not really quantifiable. So that brings us down to our last type of weapon. We have our turreted. These will attempt to spin as long as it's in an area that can be seen. So if this turret is able to point at it, it'll point at it and keep shooting if you keep pulling the trigger. Depending on your mode, it does have that automatic tracking though. You do have your energy weapons or your projectile-based weapons, as well as missile-based weapons. Obviously, missile-based do more damage, but they have fewer in the way of ammo. As you can see, there's not exactly a ton of ammo in here. Versus your projectiles, again, lower ammo count, but they do more damage. So it's that trade-off. I try to mix it up. These laser weapons all pull from this same pool. They all pull from one laser pool. I don't know if they'll change that in the future, but as of right now, they do. So I try to keep my cannons and some pulse lasers. I don't have high-end cannons right now. I got some pretty low-end ones. They're pretty garbage. But they're more or less to make sure people's shields don't just bounce back while I'm waiting on my lasers to recharge. I have a kill warrant scanner. This helps me track down those bounties. That way I can make sure I'm getting as much money as I can from somebody before I blow them up. And then a frame shift wake scanner. So you can't run from me. Somebody disappears into, oh, let me hop to another system. I scan your wake that you left behind, and now I know where you went. I can track you down from that. Your internal components. For the most part, these are pretty straightforward things. Cargo rack obviously holds cargo. Fuel tank holds fuel. Power distributor versus power plant. People have asked me about this. The power plant is what gives me this, the power that's able to be used. The power distributor is how that power is distributed amongst my equipment. So, as you can see here, I've got one of the higher end power distributors down here. This is the rate that it recharges for all these different things, and also the capacities that it has. So if I look at back to one of the original ones for this, let's see, I'm in a class 3, so I believe it was this one. So as you can see, there's a bit of a dip between what I currently have and what it originally started with. Pretty significant dip on some of these items. In particular, look at that weapons recharge. I've got a whole single digit higher, and that's digits towards this. So significantly quicker recharge on those weapons now. But that power distributor helps you get that power to the appropriate equipment quicker and more efficiently in a lot of cases. So fuel scoop lets you scoop off of a sun, so that way you don't have to stop in and get gas. When you get a larger ship, this is pretty much a gimme. You want to do that. It is so expensive to fuel up. As you can see, I have a max of 16 tons. I only have 10.9. When I go back into the other area, you'll see what I'm talking about. It is not that much fuel that's down. I mean, I still have over half a tank, but it's pretty expensive pretty quick. So it's already 2,663 credits. I don't know about you, that just seems a little ridiculous when the fuel scoop itself is not usually more than a couple thousand credits, depending on the version that you get. So buy the fuel scoop, swing by the sun real quick, get your fuel that way. That's just a couple of the quick basics for the weaponry. I did want to kind of cover that before I went into anything else on another video. I am going to shoot another video about actual bounty hunting inside of the full release now, so I'll have a separate video for that as well. One more thing I did want to cover real quick. The bulletin board, they have made it easier to get missions. I will say this though, there are plenty of these freebie missions. I don't like these at all. Hey, do this for free just because we want you to. They've also made it so that when a mission's getting ready to expire, it gives you a marker. Even though I haven't really seen much in the way of missions that are expired. I am going to do a quick run, so I'll go ahead and do this and drop it off real fast just to kind of show some people that maybe aren't used to it. Fair warning, this faction hates me. I'm not going to go as in-depth to some of the other faction items that I did in some of my other videos. I have those other instructional videos you can take a look at if you want more in-depth. I did want to cover the gear a little bit because some people were confused about that still. But you can scroll up and down, look through your different faction ratings. Federation, Purple Legal Solutions. They hate me. I am hostile to them. Apparently I blew up one too many of their friends. The Empire's already starting to think a little unfriendly as well. I'm going to have to do some missions for them here shortly. I don't have a local bounty, but they still shoot at me just for existing. So, there's always that. Also, as you can see, we did not lose anything in the Gamma. That was something many people were hoping for. And it came true. They did not wipe our Gamma. So, I was happy with that as well. So, I'm going to Potter. People are not going to be happy when they see me leaving. So, one of the things I've found that works, if you have a hostile faction you're dealing with, hurry up and get in the door. Get in the door and immediately duck. So when I first pull out, you'll see here, there's the doorway. I try not to lift up too heavily too quickly. I'm going to keep nice and low in relation to the door.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
The irony, of course, being there's a no-fire zone, and all I'm doing is flying, but they engage me immediately. So, you figured they'd do something like not let me dock, but no, they still let me dock. So, I typically will get to about here, I'll curl to stop, slide up, and then shoot out the door. I'll go ahead and get my landing gear back. There we go. So far nobody's shot at me, that's always a good sign. So I'm going to hurry up and bounce out this door. I usually hit the boost on the way out too. And get yourself to full speed. Yep, lining up attack run. They're already mad at me. You're wanted in this system. How dare you exist? And nobody shot at me so far. Ordinarily sneaking out the door like that usually makes it quicker. I think it's actually a glitch, because I think the AI's a little stupid still for pathing. I think they get stuck on the walls of the station still. So, kind of hang out by that door for a second or so you can get out the door. There we are. Let's go ahead and go.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
I do like the new transition. That's something else I wanted to touch on too. Instead of just jumping straight into your jump drive, they actually kind of transition slowly into your super cruise. So I always thought that was kind of a nice little adjustment that they made. So let's hurry up and get over here to Potter Enterprises. They don't hate me. They work for a different faction. That's something to keep in mind. Who the different stations work for. Make sure you double check. Make sure you're not heading to a faction that hates you unless you're willing to deal with that. So that's down here in your system map. Taking a look. I'm only going to do this for a second as I shoot past this location. So, Potter Enterprises, controlled by this faction, Purple General Inc. They're independent. They're not linked directly to the Federation. So, that's a couple of nice things to deal with there. Let's go ahead and pull back. We overshot a smidge looking at that map. I heard it start to spin up. I was like, I'm about ready to overshoot. That's alright. Didn't hurt. Looks like it shook off that cop that was on my back end. Yeah, he's right there. See him. Since they dislike me so, I can tell who the local securities are now. I got another one behind me too. I think he just spawned behind me too. I hate it when it does that, but it's unfortunately nothing you can really change. He literally spawned right behind me. Let's hurry up and get out of his way. Oh, hear him go by? That wonderful little tweaking noise almost. Kind of like a weird bird. I'm going to try to do a loop, see if I can lose him instead of having him grab a hold of me. There we are. I think that worked. Yep, now he's on the wrong side. and I'll be here in a couple more seconds. I cannot stress enough going to these little outposts. Yes, the big place I was at just now had a ton of stuff there. It was awesome. But if a faction dislikes you, you're going to get shot at when you go there, because there's going to be cops all over the front door. Also, you'll get in trouble if you try to smuggle something in at that place. Versus here, there's hardly anything ever in these locations. So I can go ahead and just request my docking.
Docking request
There we
granted.
are. As another quick note, you'll notice I have blue instead of the orange. I've already posted up some links on that, how to change out your color scheme. There's a subreddit that you can go to. It's in the Elite Dangerous Reddit. They have a couple of different links explaining how to change the different file system. So it is, in my opinion, better. The blue's a lot easier on the eyes, in my opinion. That, and it's easier to see things. Because there's so many, look at all the oranges and slight reds out there. There's so many variations thereof. So why would I want more orange on my control area? Instead I went with that blue.
Landing gear deployed.
Here we are. Slide sideways, and we'll be down in a second.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Go ahead and go on my bulletin board and we'll drop this off. One of the things I do... Oh, they don't have it here. So I'll go ahead and give them my cargo, get my mission. Something else they've added. This is why I wanted to do this before I ended this video. They actually tell you what's going on now. So Purple General Inc. likes me just a tiny bit better. See that reputation? I'm still neutral, but it's a little bit more neutral apparently. Again, I wish there was hard values. They don't have them, but it is what it is. Their influence in the whole area has slightly increased. So there's that as well. One of the things I do recommend as a quick side note, if you're planning on staying at a location, I'm not here, I'm fixing to vacate, head out to some more areas, go blow up some stuff, shoot another video about bounty hunting, enter the hangar. Don't hang out on top. When you hang out on top, somebody can randomly run into you and blow you up. I've had this happen. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. If you guys liked it, it was a little bit of good information about the beginning of the beta, and then we moved into that gamma. Now we're on that full release. So if you want to go back, you can look through the different videos I've shot. You can see kind of that history of what happened. But feel free to go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe. I plan on shooting more of these. As we continue to see the game grow and change, you'll start to see more and more of videos about it. Thanks again for watching.